20 points, 20 rebounds.
Well, Duquesne better put a body on him today because he's an active man from the outside. He gets a lot of rebounds from the three-point line. He just dives in and keeps the ball alive. Just a tremendous, tough lefty.
Brian Gregory's team has won 4 of their last 5, and they have had many narrow losses themselves this season, but he's working on his 4th straight season where he could reach 23 or more wins. And Ron Everhart, his 4th year at Duquesne, took over a program that was 3-24 the year before he arrived. He had 10 wins his first year, 17 wins his second year, 21 wins his 3rd year. So he has taken this program, Tim Welsh, as you know, and done a great job turning it around.
It's kind of been an up-and-down year for Duquesne, to say the least. They were picked in this group at the top of the league. They're starting to show why here in the last couple weeks of the season.
London Warren throws it away to start this afternoon's game. Now, Dayton is the road team. They're wearing the white because they wanted a red out today here for Duquesne. So the Dukes chose to wear the road red jerseys. And a really good crowd has shown up here at the Palumbo Center for a Duquesne team that has gone to overtime 6 times this season. They were picked to finish in the top 4 in the Atlantic 10, but at 5-7 in the conference, it's been a very disappointing year of narrow misses. Stepping back and badly missing is Saunders.
That's where one part of Damian Saunders' game, he has to clean that up. Just take away those bad possessions, those bad shots. He's such a high percentage guy inside the three-point line. He wastes possessions by jacking up poor threes.
Right to the corner. Jumper on the way from Johnson. Rims off. Back tapped out to Paul Williams. Hillsman finds Johnson. London Warren that time traveled.
Duquesne's resurgence here in winning their last 3 out of 4 not only has been better shot selection, handling the ball better, better assist to turnover ratio. Right now, Evans is the only person on their roster with a positive assist turnover, but also defensively, they're buying into Ron's system here and locking people up. So far, so good for Duquesne.
And they're the 6th youngest team in the country. Number 13 in red, Jason Duty for Ron Everhart, is the only senior on the team, and he used to be a walk-on. He was only put on scholarship for the first time this season and was honored before the game, and he's a great story. But this entire team is coming back next season, so with all the narrow misses from this year, when you're bringing your whole team back next year, you're Ron Everhart. How encouraged are you?
Well, you've got to be encouraged. I'm sure he was encouraged coming into this season and thought they'd be better because they got to the A-10 finals a year ago, and with Saunders and with Clark now, who's coming in off the bench, really a great tandem of scorers, but they haven't gelled. They've had some injuries. Golding's been out for a while, but now they're starting to come together. They'll be a dangerous team come March in Atlantic City.
Saunders works his way inside. Chris Johnson the rebound. Now it's Rob Lowry finding Johnson, and the tap followed by Wright.
Duquesne will make you pay if you don't get back and get organized in defensive transition. That time, Damian Saunders chased the point guard down, really left them at a disadvantage in the lane on the tip.
Shot clock down to 10. Eric Evans, the sophomore point guard. No look pass. And Morakinyo Williams was fouled inside, challenged by Chris Johnson. Well, Johnson commits his first.
Nice little movement there for the big fella. Good feet and nice delivery by Evans with the left coming off the bounce. Duquesne very, very good efficiency-wise, guarding the pick and roll. That time slow on the rotation. And the big guy Williams, who's got the start today, the transfer from Kentucky, really giving Duquesne a lift here in the last couple weeks.
And Williams will be the only player that will stay on the floor after the shift change by the Dukes. And Williams, if he makes this free throw, is going to be replaced by Rodrigo Bagao, who's also at the scorer's table. So Bill Clark comes on for the first time, as does Lucas Newton. Sean Johnson all checking in. And Morakinyo Williams had missed that one on purpose. Wants to stay in the game.
A little U.S.-Canada Olympic hockey.
That's right.
Early preview here.
And we know we see that from Brian Gregory. Brian Gregory will throw 3 guys over. Lives gets extinguished. And we were talking about this with him before the game. How many lives do they have left?
Well, I think in normal years you could say that. Well, you lose today and maybe you're out in the Atlantic 10. But the Atlantic 10's had such great recognition this year, rightfully so, that look, they're 7-4. Most people think if you go 10-6, you're going to be in the tournament. So they do have some wiggle room, but with the Temple-Richmond minefields laying in front of them, there's not a lot.
Not if Chris Wright keeps playing like this. He has all 11 of the Flyers' points. And a foul called on Duquesne. Monday night, ESPN brings you a Big East Big Ten doubleheader beginning at 7 Eastern. UConn takes on number 8 West Virginia. Then at 9 Eastern, Oklahoma and number 1 Kansas. Big Monday presented by Bud Light, part of Judgment Week. And it comes up tomorrow night on ESPN. Actually, the foul called on the Flyers. So it remains Duquesne basketball.
Again, with the 6'10" Searcy guarding the point guard on the inbounds pass, and they switch back to man quickly. Not quick enough.
Jason Duty hits a 3 after London Warren had been called for his first foul.
It's interesting. They play that out of bounds with the 5-man up on the point, and then they have to rotate and communicate. That time they didn't rotate quick enough.
And Marcus Johnson in a bit of an argument with London Warren after the pass caught Johnson by surprise.
Here you see Searcy on the inbounds, and they get up and guard, and now there's a little confusion on the rotation. Who has who? And Warren loses Duty at the top. You got to find him. That's where he can hurt you.
Searcy, Warren, and Wright all take a seat. Hillsman comes back on along with Josh Benson in the front court, and Mickey Perry in for the first time as well.
It just does a great job of just getting up in your grill defensively. If you're weak with the basketball against Dayton, forget it. It's death. You've got to make sure you're strong. You've got to pull through and be strong with the ball. Set a lot of good, strong screens. If you don't hold your screens, they'll just fight right through it.
Tough spot on the court to get the ball inbounded, especially against an aggressive defensive Dayton team. And it will stay down in that area. Eric Evans tried to throw it in. It was knocked back out of bounds. Now a little more breathing room deeper on the baseline.
Here again with the 6'10" Benson now up on the point guard on the inbounds. Makes it very difficult to get anything clean.
Well, the defense just collapsed on Damian Saunders once it came in. 13 to shoot. Evans throws one that hits the net, and an offensive foul call. Hillsman takes the charge as Eric Evans commits the foul.
Well, Eric Evans right now playing with a little frustration. Can't get much vision out there. He's a little smallish, so he's got to get the ball, quick moves, get rid of it. Nothing there. Bring it back to the outside. Nothing on the baseline.
With Chris Wright on the bench, Dayton's going to have to find some other answers offensively. Lowry double teamed out near midcourt. Now Lowry penetrates. That shot partially blocked by Morakinyo Williams. Evans for 3. Offensive rebound by Williams. The stick back plus the foul.
Well, the big fella was brought in here for one thing from Kentucky, just a clear space, but he's become a little bit more nimble than people thought. He's moving his feet nicely in there. The nice retrieve off the rack and finish.
Williams was recruited by Tubby Smith at Kentucky, but then when he left and Billy Gillespie came in, he played a year, only 5 games at Kentucky for Gillespie before transferring to Duquesne. And his minutes have increased as the year has gone on, especially since the A-10 schedule began.
He did a great job in the Charlotte game earlier this week, and that win down there. Clearing space and doing a great job pounding Shamari Spears for Charlotte.
Well, Chris Johnson just knocked one down. Williams now in the post again. Evans down the lane around Hillsman.
Duquesne has major problems guarding on the perimeter. There you see right there, Saunders getting beat, but then the quick recovery.
Evans. able to finish. The steal by Saunders creates offense, and the Dukes within a point.
That's Damian Saunders in a nutshell. Reaches, gambles, gets beat, and then recovers with the quick, long hands. He gambles all over the court. Most of the time, he makes something happen.
And Brian Gregory responds by sending Chris Wright back to the scorer's table. Johnson for three again. He's got another back-to-back triples by Chris Johnson. Backdoor lob hit the rim. Saunders was open, but the pass underthrown. London Warren finds Johnson cutting. And he'll go to the free throw line.
Well, Damian Saunders is great at stealing the ball. Here you see him. He gets beat off the bounce here, and then on the recovery comes from behind again. He's got quick hands and long arms and strong hands as well. And then the great pick and roll, and then to the basket, Evans. Nice finish with the left.
Chris Johnson, the last time these two teams met, 26 points and 20 rebounds. That was the A-10 opener for Dayton at UD Arena.